Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and in this video we're going to be doing some street photography with the X100V. So I took it out for a spin. I kind of wanted to do during the day, but by the time I got the idea and finally got all ready to go, it was dark. I saw that it was 4 and I was like, okay, it's not that bad, but it's January 4 p.m. So yeah, no sun. And so after seeing that there was no sun, I decided to get some quick shots, hopefully before the sun went down. And then even then after sunset, I stayed around a little bit and got some night shots with the X100V. So the thing is, I forgot that it's January, and that means that the sun past 4 is basically like non-existent. And it's not a thing. Yeah, a little bit salty on that one. I got all ready, and then as soon as I was walking upstairs, because I live in the bottom floor of the house, I saw that it was pitch black outside. I thought to myself, there's no sunlight at all. Oh, car that was parked, good seeing you. So single, yeah, let's put it single point autofocus. We can get away with shooting at like 100, I think. And then here's where we start spitting out cheese from our sensor. So right off the back, after I got ready and got everything set up to go, I noticed that I had to shoot my ISO very high up, and I think I was already at 6,400 ISO. So I wanted some pictures though, so I took pictures anyway. I know some people say that they won't take pictures past 800 ISO, but I just did it for fun. And me personally, I'd rather have a picture than no picture. So I always grab a picture of the Fifth Third building when I'm out here. It's like tradition for me. So I'm gonna underexpose for the Fifth Third thing. Hopefully I can bring it back in post. Find a good comp. I mean, let's put some foreground elements in there. This fence, I don't like it if that started more over here. I think I like that. And level it. All right. So right here from the start, I was shooting in RAW plus JPEG. So I had my aperture at the widest it can go, so at f2. And then my shutter speed, I think I set around 1/60th of a second. And then my ISO was the only variable that was moving around depending on what I was doing. This is what I hate about winter, just that sucks. There's no light. You just go outside, it's like 3 in the afternoon, it's pitch black. Me personally, I love photos of like security cameras. Ever since I read 1984, I've been like obsessed with them, and so whenever I see one, I have to snap a pic. It's true. I just find it really fascinating. I don't know. It's just one of those objects. Like, you know, some people take pictures of cars they see. Some take pictures of birds or trees. Well, me, I take pictures of security cameras. Let's see. Doorway shot, maybe. Crazy bright. We're 3 stops over, so we're gonna put it at 1/1600. Try with the focus in the back. So here I loaded my ISO because once I came inside of the stairway from outside, it had artificial lighting, so I could bring my ISO down a bit. After that, I experimented between focusing on the rail and focusing on the door, and I ended up liking the door better, so that's where my focus ended up. Always change focus and see which ones you like better, because sometimes a different perspective could make or break your photo. The thing about this too is that you can like compose a photo, and you may think that it's going to turn out good, but no matter how hard you try, the subject matter could just be bad, and then your photo will also be bad. So sometimes there just isn't a good way to compose a photo. I'm sure you can make most things interesting depending on what kit you have, but sometimes you don't have that kit, and thus you won't be able to get the shot that you want, or maybe the shot just won't work, things like that. But I encourage you to try anyway. Nothing to feel bad about. That's how it is sometimes. Hello? Hello. You seem interesting. So right then and there, I set my goal for what I wanted to do this shoot. I didn't have very much to photograph. There wasn't much going on. So I just said, let's find as many of these fire hydrants that I could find. And I took pictures of them, and you'll see them later on. But, you know, I composed them very simply. You'll see throughout the video, I mainly placed them on a rule of third or in the center. I couldn't really come up with much to do, but, you know, I was just out there to take pictures and walk around a bit. You know, I've been curious. I was like, what if I start an alias? I don't know, I feel like I want most of the traffic from my YouTube to go to my portrait page, because that's what I like doing, right? And this is the hobby within the career, where I would like portraits to be my main thing. But honestly, if landscapes end up working better, then that's what I'm down for.
Okay, so what I was saying there is that me personally, as a photographer, I would like to be known in the community and in my city as a portrait, event, and portrait specifically. Like that's my first. I love doing portrait, I love working with people one-on-one. And then event photography, again, involves people, because I have worked previously with other employers that gave me the opportunity to go and shoot events for them, and I really did like it. So that's something that I would like. And then the third thing, I try not to spread off too far from this. I just started doing it, but it's going to be sports photography. I like sports photography. It's pretty fun to go look at. I enjoy just becoming part of the crowd, but then also documenting it. So for me, it would be portraits, events, and sport photography. Those are the three things that I personally like doing, and I would like to be known as a sports or portrait photographer, for example, because you don't want to spread yourself too thin here. And then me doing these type of street photography, landscapey shots, I worry that that would confuse my brand per se, and that people would be really confused. Well, I don't I don't want the landscape photographer to take my portrait shots, you know. Those two don't go together. So that's what I was talking about when I said I want to make an alias, like a different name that's not precisely linked back to me. But obviously I wouldn't really, you know, I would say it was me if someone asked, but I would come up with a different name, you know. I wouldn't just want to be John Johnson Photography and then put everything underneath that umbrella, right? I would want to be you know, create different names for different types of photography and just keep them separate, because you don't want to spread yourself too thin. You become Walmart, and as soon as you become Walmart, you basically have to compete on prices, because you're not specialized. You want to specialize so that way that you can charge whatever you want to be charging for your stuff. Because let's say you want to buy a screwdriver, right? You go to Walmart, they're competing on prices, so it's going to be, you know, cheap. But when you go to Home Depot, you know you're going to pay a little bit more, but you're going to get exactly what you need for your building projects or your tool needs. So they're a more specialized store where you'll just find tools, rather than Walmart, which also carries tools, but they carry a bunch of other stuff.
I mean, this is kind of cool if I can work it somehow. I feel like if someone was standing in the middle, it would be much more interesting. Maybe like that.
So yeah, obviously having a person or a subject inside of your picture can make it more interesting, but sometimes the setting is the subject. But just for that case right there, I was just thinking from like a portrait photographer perspective. Like if I had someone with, like, I don't know, tech wear or something, and then I had them stand in the middle and then pose, I think that would have been a really cool shot. So I was kind of thinking more of a portrait brain rather than a street photographer thing, because I mainly do portraits. So I'm just starting out with street photography and I'm kind of new to it, but I still applied the same principles that I would as if I were taking portraits. You know, kind of composition carries over from one genre to another. Obviously, every specialized photography has their own tricks and rules and stuff. But for me, I was just carrying over what I already know into this new field of photography that I'm diving into.
Yep. I am terribly out of shape. What? What? Maybe? We're taking it, boys. Let's go.
So you might be saying to yourself, that's just a picture of pavement, cracks, and paint. Well, yeah, but I was looking at it more from an artistic point of view. So obviously there's contrast between the yellow paint and then the concrete. And then you also have the texture from the cracks in the concrete and just leading lines. It's a simple photo, basically. So right here, you'll see at the very top, I left that little corner because I wanted in someone's brain to put together that, oh, this is a parking space. Because if I had cropped it down closer down, the illusion would have stopped and people would have just thought it was a box. So right here you have the context clues that it's concrete, and you got the yellow lines, and then I also left it leading off of the frame so that it indicates to the viewer that it still continues past that point of view. So right here, this was so funny to me. I just found it so funny that someone stole someone's bike by removing the wheel that it was locked onto the bike holder to, and just took the rest of the bike and just left the wheel there. I that was just such a funny picture to me. It literally made me like turn back and do a double take, because I was like, that's kind of cool and kind of funny. Well, the picture, not I feel bad for whoever had this happen to them. It made for an interesting picture, because for me, like, it told a story. You can see the lock in there, but obviously there's no bike. There's only a rim, the tube, and then the tire. And so I was like, okay, this is a cool photo. So I went back and grabbed it. I used flash because it was a really dark alley. There was no artificial lighting nearby, and that's one thing that I love about the X100V, is that I ended up using the flash. I've been using the flash way more than I ever did, like, on my T6, for example. For some reason, this is just so functional. Like, it's good for on the spot, and then it just looks good, I think. And so, you know, use your gear to the most of its ability. Right there, if I hadn't had this flash, I wouldn't have been able to get that photo, because it would have been too dark. And then if I had brought this up in post, it would have been, the picture would have just fell apart, because I was already shooting at a high ISO, and then with the flash, it just helped bring the exposure down, and then I got the picture. So there you go. By the X100V having an internal flash, I was able to get the picture. Whether you like it or not, it's just a fact. Obviously, you can do different things with the flash and with this camera, but all I'm saying is that having a built-in flash is nice.
Yeah, just not much happening tonight. I mean, I guess if I was good, I could make something out of everything. I'm decent, but not that decent. I'm new to this, okay? What can I say?
So what I'm referring to there is that sometimes I see people post pictures, I'm like, whoa, that's a cool picture of something so plain and ordinary that I would have never stopped to look at. That's what I meant there. I haven't developed that street photography eye yet, because I come from a portrait perspective. Usually I'm moving my subject around the environment. This time I'm having to focus on the environment. So I haven't developed that sense of vision yet, or grasp an eye for street photography. So that's what I meant there. I don't mean to say that, you know, if you're not getting good pics, you are bad. But like everything, it takes practice, and obviously I had just started. This is one of my first times out with the X100V, and I definitely need to practice more, because I'm, you know, I just started.
There's absolutely nothing out. Stairs, let's go. I guess.
So I just grabbed the random selfie. I tried composing it. I framed myself inside of the window, which is framed inside of a smaller window. And then after that, you have the leading lines going in. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best picture world. I thought I should just take a picture, so I did.
Collection of fire hydrants, maybe? As much as I'm dissing Lexington right now while I'm walking around looking for something interesting to happen, it's a good city. I like it, even though it's like, sometimes it looks like there's nothing going on, and other times it's super alive. Right now, for obvious reasons, it's super dead. I feel like if I just got in the middle and got the obvious shot, I'm gonna be better off. Sometimes you want to be original, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. That's how the game plays, kiddo.
So right there, when I first got on the roof of the parking garage, I had tried taking a photo off from the left side instead of being centered because, you know, I tried breaking a rule for a bit. Instead of being centered right and plumb, I tried going off center and seeing if that worked, but it really didn't. So I just took the easy win. I took the easy win and just got the easy composition, just having everything symmetrical in half, and then, you know, and like I said right there, sometimes you try to, you know, break a rule and see if it works, but I don't think it really worked out that way, so I just went with the safe route and just took the regular composition shot that everyone else would get. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes what works, and it works for a reason, right?
Oh yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Two back to back. Yep. What am I doing? Well, I guess I kind of rescued it in a way, right? Like, I came up with something to do. Like, I came out here for my steps. Getting footage is my second prerogative. And so I found something to do. Look for fire hydrant things. I guess I could make some joke about how all my friends are here right now.
I don't mean that in self-demeaning way. It was just a regular jab. Come on, come on.
Oh, cones. That could be cool. They blocked it, so they didn't want people going up here. Well, with their car anyway. Okay. Don't I feel safe walking around in just a bunch of white vans?
I was honestly a little bit spooked. Like, sometimes you don't see it in this video, but I cut out a bunch of times where I was like looking behind me, seeing if anyone's following me. One of those common sense things that you think to do, because I'm walking around with equipment and it's pitch black outside, and, you know, just one of those things that you got to think about. Keep yourself safe.
Alright, let's go to the roof and scout out where we want to walk next. Stripes.
So right here in this picture, it's a very simple picture. I just wanted to make the illusion that these little pillars, I wanted to make the illusion that they go off the frame. So that's why I kind of cropped it off towards the very top left, because I wanted it to appear that they kept going infinitely. So that's why I left this pattern going like that.
Look at the small one. Oh yeah.
See, like I told you before, I would have never paid attention to that. My brain would have just not even acknowledged it. But since I'm out looking for them, you know, you're suddenly finding them everywhere, or at least I was. I'm sure if you go out and you try this on your own, think of something like, try coming up with a target or a subject that, like I was saying, I encourage you that if you go on your own photo walk safely and according to the regulations of where you live in, and you follow the steps, wear a mask. If you go on your own photo walk, I encourage you to kind of think of something like, think of a subject, and then take pictures of that subject and see how creative you can get. For example, like take pictures of lamp posts, or like me and my cameras, the security cameras, the security cameras that I like taking pictures of, or trees, or birds, or different yard signs, or mailboxes, things like that. And as soon as you put that into your mind that you're out looking for that kind of stuff, you'll start noticing things a lot more than you normally would, because usually you just brush those things over, you never even bother. But, you know, try it.
cool things going on, maybe? No. No cool things going on. Well, oh, I was gonna take a picture of you. I just like pictures of security cameras. This will make a fine addition to my collection.
So right here, these are some of my favorite pictures I took that night. And I don't really know what's going on. I had some sort of like, so for example, you see at the top, it's white out, it's clipped because it's direct light right underneath the security cameras. But if you look below on the camera, there's like, you can see the LEDs of the light, but off center and without all of the clipping. So it was a very cool and weird effect. I don't really know what's happening here. Probably some form of ghosting, but still, you can see at the very bottom of this picture that you can see where every single LED would normally be at. But then you look at the top and it's completely like white out. So very cool effect. I don't really know if this filter is causing any bouncing of light inside of my setup as I have it, but I didn't really notice any other weird artifacts throughout my shoot. And this is a very extreme example, so it's not something that you need to worry about, but it's definitely an extreme example because I'm pointing directly at an LED like street light, and this is very bright. And obviously, you know, I was at an extreme as well, as I'm trying to say. And this isn't something to worry about. But I still thought it was cool. Like, I thought it made the picture cool.
Oh, a hydrant. I'm actually excited. Okay.
Again, I would say this is another easy scene where it just presents yourself and you just go ahead and get the shot. There's no shame in taking easy wins. And if anything, if you start seeing good pictures more often, then that's a good thing. Because then you think about everything, you're thinking, oh, it's too easy. Everything's there, the composition and stuff, but really you put that all together and you're acknowledging it. So good job there. But what? Good job me? I don't know. But basically, I would call this an easy win photo because you have the street lights guiding everything into those back two buildings, and you have depth there, and you kind of know what's going on with the signs on the floor. So it's very contextual. This photo is filled with context, and I think, you know, I don't know if I would hang this up on a wall or something, but it's a good picture, I think.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Like, the shots that present themselves, just take them. You'll start seeing them more often. Eventually, you'll start to make your own compositions because you're just so adept at looking for stuff.
So this one right here, it's not the best thing since sliced bread, but I still thought I wasn't, if I could have, I would have gotten higher and taken that picture down. But obviously I'm not going to stand on some electric box in the middle of the street, right? I'm going to just be as unintrusive as I can to my environment. And this is like literally the best I could do with this photo, or so I think anyway. This is how I composed it, and I was like, this is kind of the best I could do there. I know the things in the back are distracting, but basically I just wanted to take this picture just because of what it said. It's not the best thing ever, but it's a picture.
Alright, let's keep walking. So I took RAW plus JPEG off because I just don't want to shoot in the film simulations.
So I took the film simulations off because I was kind of finding them hindering. Like, I wasn't really enjoying using them, so I took them off. And this is one of the things where I was like, very divided on. It was like, how much emphasis do I want to draw to the film simulations in my X100V video? And I don't even think I put it in there. I showed a clip of me showing that it was there, but I didn't say that's what it was. This is one of those features that, you know, it's not a make it or break it, gonna make your life easier type of deal, which is what I think the X100V was that the size makes it easier to have. And for me, the film simulations aren't exactly something that I was very much drawn to. So at this point, I had kind of gotten tired of using them, and so I just switched it back to RAW plus JPEG, because I was just thinking to myself that I could just edit them and have them look exactly the way I want later on.
Really? I had flash on for that? I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong, but it still made me feel really dumb. Was that picture even good? I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even see the writing on the wall. When I was coming out here, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm like, I'm going to take a picture in the dark, and I'm going to forget to toggle the flash. And here we are.
So the context to that is that I just wanted a picture of the neon shoe. That's it. And this store, it's called Oneness. They sell shoes and legs. Go check them out. But basically, I was taking a picture of the shoe. I was like, oh, this is a cool little neon sign. And as soon as I hit the shutter, my flash went off in a store that was, you know, they had a couple people in there. It just kind of, I don't know. Imagine if you took a picture and you had your flash on and you were trying to be discreet. You know, that's basically what happened. Like, I wasn't doing anything. I just wanted a picture of that shoe. But, you know, those people, I might have freaked them out a little bit.
Huh. I wonder if I use the flash now, if it'll eventually just stop working.
So right here, I saw this building that was under construction, and I just thought to myself, well, what if I take a flash photo of it and maybe cast some cool shadows or something? And I was not expecting this little flash to light up this whole building. Like, it was really bright. And my mind was kind of blown. I was like, oh my gosh, this flash is stupid powerful. And yeah, so you're gonna hear me raving about this probably more and more. Like, I love the fact that this has a built-in flash, and it's really good. Like, every time I've used it, I've been more than happy with the results that it's giving me. You know, it's a flash photo because it's the middle of the night, right? And you can see the flash look on it. But to be honest, I'm amazed that this little thing lit up this whole building. Now standing on the other side of the building too. Like what?
Oh, wait a second. That was like garbage from this far, but like I'm sure like across the streets would look better.
So right here, I saw a lamp, and and it was a very interesting lamp to me, at least. And I was trying to get a picture of it, and so right there, I recognized that I was too far away. And then a quote that literally lives in my head rent free is just like, if your picture isn't good, you're not close enough. I forget who said it. That's just something that I kind of live by, which is like, if the photo's not looking too good, try getting closer, try moving, try, you know, doing different things. Just because you try that at one angle doesn't mean that it couldn't work at another. So if I had just stayed there on that side of the street, I would have never gotten the shot, because then I got closer, and as you'll soon see, I got different shots of that lamp.
This is my life now. Take photos of interesting lights. How do I make this thing bigger than it actually is? I can't. Like, I see a photo here, but I don't think I have the gear to do it. Well, hold on a second. Let's see what's down there. All right, let's see. It's okay. It's not the best. It's okay, I guess. It's okay. It's not the best thing since sliced bread, you know, but it's a picture. It's a picture. Kind of like this. Hold on.
Security cameras. Yes. So what I ended up doing here is there was another sign to the left of the caution sign, and I photoshopped it out. So I photoshopped it out just to leave that caution sign and the security camera in the picture, and I thought it was, no, it went together well. So by here, I had wrapped up taking pictures downtown, and I kind of wanted to take a little bit more photos. So I thought to myself, where could I go? And so there's this little spot called the Distillery District. And so I drove down over there, and I thought to myself, okay, there's a lot of people here. I won't take pictures, but if there's no one or little people, I'll take some pics. And as it turned out, when I got there, it was completely empty. So I was very happy about that. So right here, I'm at the Distillery District now, and I take some neon light photos. Let's watch.
Okay, let's take some quick pics and get out. Alright, so we're gonna take this boring picture. I'm gonna try to blur it. Maybe that'll make it interesting. Oh, I like that one. I like that one.
Basically, I was like, oh, I kind of like the sign. I think I like the vibes that it was giving off. But I was like, how do I make this picture interesting? So what I did was, well, what if I just blur it? And so as I did there, I kind of just moved my camera around, and I settled on that picture, which I really did like.
Okay. Okay.
So here I took a picture of this food neon sign, and I was like, wait a minute, I could do something cool here. So as you'll quickly see, I bust out the multiple exposure function on the X100V, and here's what I did with it.
Wait a second. I got an idea. Okay, next. This looks like a real
Bad.
Photoshop, but we're still going for it. Alright. Next. Now let's come back to my leaf. It's interesting, I guess.
So I don't know. I mean, I like the multiple exposures. I like the neon. I just couldn't really figure out how to finish it, wrap it up, and so I just took a picture of that leaf, and yeah, that's how it turned out.
I don't know, man. I should probably try. Oh, I could try doing food arcade. Let's try doing that. Try doing food and arcade. Okay, we got arcade. Now I think we're gonna be running back and forth here, but I think it'll be fun. See, there's not enough neon in Lexington. Like, that's a weird complaint, but it makes for cool pics. Okay, next we got arcade again. I think we're gonna do food and that'll be it. I mean, yeah, it's something.
So at this point, as you can see, I just stacked arcade, food, and I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, I think, and I was just trying things out. You know, I was trying out some functions. It's something that people really forget, because I think several cameras have this feature to do multiple exposures in body, and I was just having fun with it, and so that's exactly what I did. I went and used the feature, and these are some of the photos I got with it. Do I think it's like the best thing ever? No. Could you do them in post? Well, yes, but me personally, I strongly recommend that you try getting everything right on site. Like, don't Photoshop out that pebble or that thing that you can move while you're there on the location, because it's just one of the things that takes that saves time. And so if you can get it done right in person, right there while you're shooting, I highly recommend that you take care of it right then and there, instead of thinking, oh, I'll just do it in post.
Let's try with this wall. Nice. Okay, we got our clean wall. Then I want to hit next. I want to do something like this. I mean, it's a pattern, I guess.
So right there, I just took a picture of that little garage door. It was red, and it had some stripes across it. And then I came back and I got a picture of that plant that was dried up. And then it made kind of like this pattern look. I wasn't really the craziest about it, but I still thought it was decent.
I think that's all I want to do here. I don't think I want to stick around too much here.
So there you go, guys. That was my photo walk with the X100V. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the photos that I took. And if you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like. And if you want to see more photography content, consider subscribing to the channel. All right, and that wraps it up for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Justin, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.